Can I have a motion to open up the June 12, 2024 meeting?
So moved.
Wonderful, thank you. Second, anybody?
Second.
Wonderful. Okay, Janet Olet has resigned from the board. She's been with us many years. And, definitely want to thank her for her service.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And Janet Brule is excused absence today. Okay, so in front of you have the minutes from our May 8th, 2024 meeting. If we could look those over and review them. And if anybody had any comments or questions, concerns, whatever, please bring them up. Otherwise, I need a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
I'll second.
All right, thank you so much. Accepted. Okay, well, let's start with today's agenda. The report of the bills. Okay, Patrice?
So on our regular COA general fund, we had some office
Readability.
supplies, the phone bill, and some janitor supplies. Under the grant, we have the cell phone for the vans, some exercise classes, and that was pretty much it. Been a slow month of spending,
That's a good thing.
yes.
All right, and I guess we have some new van drivers and a new per diem clerk.
So we have hired 3 new van drivers. They're all wonderful. Cassandra Morris, Lori Church, and Jane Dunn. They all have a little bit of experience in driving, and we're very excited to have them. Cassandra is going to be the new part-time one, so she'll be permanent a couple of days a week. Bill is keeping Tuesday and Friday. Cassandra will be doing the Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. Jane and Lori are both going to be per diem. So they'll be filling in for vacations or last minute. So more is better. We're very excited to have them because we don't want to ever have the bus not riding on a day. And the last couple of months have been a little bit of a scramble to try to do medical appointments first and rearrange other stuff because medical appointments are a priority. So everybody's been very patient. Seniors have been great. We have been able to use WRTA intermittently to bring people to and from the senior center if the van was going out for medical. So that was
Patrice?
okay. So we didn't really miss a lot, but
Can I just ask a quick question?
Sure.
As far as the van goes, what's the distance limit for doctor's visit?
so we're only doing this area. So we're doing, you can go to Millbury, you could go to Blackstone, you could go to Northbridge, anywhere that the elder bus doesn't go. So Northbridge, Uxbridge, Milford primarily. If somebody had to go to Bellingham, we would do that. Anywhere that they won't go. They will go to Worcester, they'll go to Auburn, they'll go to Webster,
They will go,
but they will not go to Milford. So
Okay.
that's why we needed the bus.
Yeah.
So
So our bus goes to
our bus goes to
Good.
Milford, it will go to Bellingham, it can go to Millbury, it will go anywhere that elder bus won't go. But we're not gonna have the bus tied up in Worcester
yeah.
if we already have another transportation source that will go
Right.
there because we could use it for Milford.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but if somebody had an eye doctor appointment in Uxbridge or Northbridge or,
I don't think I
Something.
knew anything about that there was a separate elder bus.
yes, so CSM Elder Bus has always done our transportation. And they will bring people back and forth to the senior center, they will do medical appointments, they do food shopping and such.
Okay.
So we weren't trying to reinvent what they were already doing, even
Right.
though we do it for shopping day, because
Yeah.
some of our seniors need prescriptions and other
Yes,
things.
yeah.
And our bus driver will bring the groceries in and out of the house for you and certain things like that. So it's more hands-on.
Yeah.
And,
I do
and
know
more personal.
somebody who sometimes needs rides to doctor's appointments and
Yeah.
stuff, so
Yeah,
I just wanted to be able to give her the right information.
yeah, of course. So we will go, to Milford, and that's what happened at
Yeah,
Elder
yeah.
Bus. They wouldn't go to Milford, they wouldn't go to Bellingham, they weren't going to those places here.
Mhm.
So we were like, how we go, and that's where a lot of our people go,
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah,
So, and with the Dana-Farber cancer down there now,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, so.
So
All right,
how,
then.
if somebody needs the elder bus, what do they call here?
Yeah, so in our newsletter, I always put our schedule on the front.
Yes.
And then we have a little blurb underneath Elder Bus that if you need our service, please call us. And what it is that we do, where we go, what our hours are.
Mhm. All right, I
So
can-
they call here, and, I mean, we try to accommodate. Say if somebody's like, oh my gosh, my doctor called, I have to go to the lab tomorrow.
Yeah.
If it's not 48 hours, but it's something medical, we do our
Yeah,
best to
yeah.
accommodate.
All right, she'll be glad to hear this, so,
No, the other
thank you.
bus.
Yeah.
Do that same thing, they would call here. Not
The elder
our-
bus?
Yeah, not our bus.
No, the elder bus, they call them directly.
Okay.
If they call here, we give them the number, but it's in our
Yeah, so
newsletter.
you direct them to them.
Yes, yeah, we only schedule our bus.
Okay, thanks.
Yep, yep. And the new clerk. So I need to hire a part-time clerk. Jill was part-time, but she went per diem. And Katie Wall resigned. And she was per diem for a little bit, maybe 5 or 6 years. So I am actively hiring a part-time clerk, and I'm hoping, I have a couple of applications that have come in. I'm hoping for the perfect dream person, like maybe a mom, you know what I mean, who just wants a few hours a week to come in and do some data entry and help us out with big programs, and maybe she has kids in school, or, you know what I mean, because the schedule can be pretty accommodating, but we definitely need somebody with really strong computer skills, because we do a lot of data entry. That position does all of our stats into the system, because even though we have a scanning card, if somebody calls in, we have a call log, and that call log has to be hand put into the scanning system, right? To be able to keep track of why they called. Was it for outreach? Was it for an appointment? Was it for lunch? Or, you know what I mean? So we have to kind of keep track, so it's still a manual kind of job. So I need somebody who's kind of data savvy.
And how many hours a week is it?
It can be anywhere from 10 to 15.
10 to 15?
Yep.
And it's flexible?
It's Tuesdays always. Tuesdays is a
always,
must, because that's
right.
our biggest day. And Thursdays preferably, because that's when we do a lot of our bigger events.
Mhm.
So if we're serving lunch and other stuff, or the podiatrist comes in on certain days, so,
Yeah.
yeah, those 2 days are really busy here. Every day's busy, but those 2 are really busy.
Okay, good to know. Okay, how about some statistics, rides, and good stuff like that we've been doing?
So we did almost 300 rides from November to January, and we're up over 800 now. 800 more since January. So we've had a total of like 1,100 and something rides since we
Wow.
put the van on the road. So
Great.
That's really, it's really working, and I'm very happy about it. And the seniors absolutely love the service, and they love the drivers, and the drivers are very personable. And you kind of get to know them. If you always have the same driver, or many people, come multiple times a week on the van, so they get to know them all. And Bill is going to be awarded at the July 2nd selectman meeting with, what do we call it? Employee recognition?
There's an
Exceptional Service Award.
Oh, great.
For his assistance with Jen on the bus, and
Yeah.
a couple of other seniors, and
Yeah.
for being really above and beyond thoughtful.
That's
He
nice.
really does,
yeah.
every time.
Yeah, yep, so,
You had mentioned a story about him
Yes.
picking you up at your house one time in the snow or something like that?
No, he brought water and crackers when I had gotten
Oh,
stuck
there was a-
in Milford for hours longer than I expected. And he was worried about me because he knew I didn't plan to be there that long, and I was there through lunch. And
I remember there was a story about that. That's very wonderful.
yep, and he's done it for several other people that have gone for cancer treatments and stuff. He's very, very thoughtful, so.
Alrighty, voucher signature?
So we have 2. So Christine is one of our signatories, and Janet Ouliette, because she was here all the time, was the second. Because it was easy to hunt down for a voucher if Christine's not around, or if she's on vacation or something. So I need a new signer, who's somebody that's here all the time. So,
How does that process work?
so you kind of figure out who's here all the time, so.
That's pretty simple.
So I would say Jean comes in pretty much every week for cards.
Yeah.
Jim's here multiple times through the week for cards and other things, and it would be either of those 2. Yeah.
Would either of you two have any objections to being a signatory?
I don't know if Jim does.
So you know what the signatory means, right? So I have to do a voucher for every bill that I put in and my payroll. And then a board member has to sign it in order for it to go through the finance department. So it's just kind of a backup check of that it's legit, it's a legitimate
Yeah,
expense.
it's like having a check that has 2 signatures.
Right.
Yeah, it's just paying a bill. So,
if I'm here and you need my John Hancock, let me know. Only I'll write my real name. I had a boss who did that for me one time, did that to me. He asked me to write up a letter, type up a letter to send to a customer. I did it, brought it in, said, okay, just need you John Hancock. He writes, John Hancock. So I had to go type it all over.
Right, that was way before you could print on a computer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the good old days.
He was a great boss, so I didn't get too mad.
All right, well, we're gonna have to take a vote on this, everybody, okay? So, could I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to have Jean Brunel be the,
Audra Signatory.
Second.
Well, thank you, Jean.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you coming forward.
Maybe we'll see more people.
All right, well, let's move on upcoming events.
So we're going to be showing
It's a good-
Jaws
it's a good
tomorrow,
one.
and we have a veterans breakfast tomorrow,
Jaws.
because it's the big anniversary.
40 years?
Yeah, so,
40 years since
40
Jaws.
years.
yeah, it seemed like it was a minute ago, right?
Really?
It's still the best movie, so we will
I
be
just
showing
watched
that
that
on the
recently.
big screen tomorrow.
They never had great white sharks.
Jaws.
Yeah, the Jaws, the movie Jaws is being shown. 40-year anniversary. When Jaws was filmed, there were never great white sharks off the Cape. Now you go down there and you just look, they're everywhere.
Right, it's changed a little bit.
Yeah.
Moving into, the Sunshine Club has a couple programs, but I'll let Pam check about those. We're gonna be doing our police barbecue on July 18th, and we'll have another movie day. A couple of little crafts here and there. We usually keep July and August kind of like not huge programs because a lot of people are away. We will be doing a game day on August 22nd. We're going to do musical bingo. The Sunshine Club is going to sponsor the event.
Okay.
And Unibank is going to sponsor pizza. So, yeah, we have some things here and there, just keeping it kind of simple if people want to come in and cool off and do a craft or see a movie, or, of course, Tuesdays we do bingo and lunch every week, so.
what time's the police barbecue?
Police barbecue is going to be at 11:30 on July 18th. I have limited that to Douglas residents only, because I know we're going to get a big crowd. If we do have extra space, then we will allow for some of the out-of-towners that are regulars to come. And I say that only because they usually bring in quite a bit of police too, so I think we should really, probably am going to limit it to about 40 seniors, because the police like to come and sit with
Yeah, too bad we didn't have a
seniors
place,
too.
a bigger place to hold that.
So what we did last year, we did it up at the Soko Club. But
Yeah,
it was
you
a
did,
lot,
yes.
it was a lot for people to go in and out of there.
Yeah.
And the parking lot, if they drove themselves, it was a little bit tricky. And then we have to bring all of the stuff from here, all the warming trays and the catering dishes and everything up there. So we decided to bring it back down here this year. It's easier for us to set up, and it's easier for the seniors in and out.
Okay.
So we're going to try it here this year, but I'm thinking between 40 and 45 will be our comfort limit, because I can do, 50 to 60, but I prefer 50.
Okay.
It's more comfortable, so we'll see how much sign up we get. We usually get a lot of people for that program. So,
Any other events?
nope, just the ones that the Sunshine Club's going to be having. They have quite a few lovely things coming up.
Okay. Well, why don't we talk about the new speed bumps?
Why don't we talk about how they're not working?
How they're not working?
So they did put the speed bumps in. They're just a slow, very small, because the plows have to be able to get over them and such. They painted them bright yellow, and there's so much signage out there to go slow, slow down, senior crossing, whatever else we can have out there.
They don't care.
And they don't care. They are airborne going over these.
Really?
I was walking, we park in that parking lot over there, and
Yeah.
I literally, yesterday morning, came out of here, I went to walk to my car, and if there's a truck there, because there was, so I peek around the corner of the postal truck, and this car came flying up so fast, you could feel the breeze. Yeah, yep,
It's
so,
not just, it's on Main Street.
it is.
Coming down here, I
Well,
stopped, there was a woman got in the street to cross, on the crosswalk.
Yep,
She's halfway out there, I'm sitting there, all these, just,
Is it-
they don't stop.
Yeah.
You can be in the middle of the road and they don't stop.
I don't know what they're gonna do about this, it's
think,
getting worse.
They need a
If there was
police
I was
presence
gonna
down
say
on
that,
Main
maybe,
Street.
well, here, do you think maybe if there was a police presence just for a few times, that to get the idea that, oh, it's better go slow here?
So we did last summer, last spring into the summer, and then again in the fall. They came down and they sat over here, and they have their nose pointed out, and people just come right on down. And then they're like, oh,
They can't sit in the car, they gotta be standing out on the street.
Well,
and it's busy,
Then
it's
write them
busy
up.
all the time. You know what I mean? It's not like it's, at 9 o'clock it's wicked busy. I mean, it's busy on Main Street all day long.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
not just rush hour busy anymore.
just all the
It's
time.
just
Yeah.
the volume of people now that come through.
And the
town.
big trucks that come rolling through. You hear them coming, approach, you barely hear them slow down.
Yeah,
Some do, but very few.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't leave my house between 3 and 6,
right.
because I can't get out of the street for at least 5 minutes.
Back in the day when I moved to Douglas, I never went out on Friday night. Like 4 to 7 was busy time, right?
Yeah.
But that was it. Any other time, you could go anywhere you wanted.
I remember coming down West Street, there wasn't even a stop sign to go
Yeah.
to Main Street.
Yeah.
Just kind of rolled right out.
Yeah, yeah.
So good.
Just do what you wanted. So, I'm not sure what's gonna happen next. I mean, we had to kind of put them in and give it a little bit, and we've given it a little bit. So I will reach out again to the safety committee and say, okay, so, great idea,
Yeah.
but it's not working.
Just keep expressing our concerns to the police
Yeah.
department, let them know.
I'm just worried about somebody really getting hurt.
Yeah,
What's that
Yeah.
sign they put up, something about, radar and use our
Radar enforced.
enforce, yeah.
I don't know. That would be up to the police chief. I mean, I would hate for somebody to be walking slow
Right.
and have a parent look to the back or look at their phone or do anything and have somebody get pegged off because they're going so fast.
Yeah.
It's just,
sorry.
yeah.
Very
So, I will address it and now for the summer, at least the school will be out, so that'll be less.
Okay, so the next topic is the Council on Aging. We had a couple open positions. We have one non-senior position and one senior position. What do you want to tell us? What can we do?
So we do have a perspective for the non-senior. She's going to fill out the application, so hopefully we'll have that by that next meeting.
Good.
And another senior, I will post it on the board here. Lisa posts it, the openings on the website, so hopefully we'll be able to.
Maybe you could
To get somebody
mention
else
that
in.
at the Sunshine Club
Wonderful.
meeting.
Good. All right, Pam, how's the Sunshine Club doing?
Okay, well, May our activity was the Cinco de Mayo, which I told you about, that was early in May. And then at the end of May, we took a road trip, carpooled up to Tower Hill Botanical
That's nice.
on a day that was beautiful. And we engaged in a free tour there, which was great, took picnic lunches. So we'll probably do that again in the fall for the change of the flora up there. June 14th is Friday. We've got park ranger from the Last Green Valley coming to give us a talk on the return of eagles to the national corridors and why it's such a positive thing going on all over. That'll be Friday here at 11:30. July 11th, we have an author coming in, Andrew Noon. He wrote a book about a revolutionary wartime criminal case over in the Brookfield area. So it'll be, his book is part fiction and historical information, and it's quite a conspiracy that went on, so it ought to be interesting. Hopefully we'll get some history buffs coming in. August 14th, we're doing our senior picnic at Wallem Lake again. And we've got the pavilion at our disposal. They're waiving the fees for us, and more than glad to have us try second annual event without rain this time. August 28th, we're doing a ice cream social at the Common. It'll be seniors with their grandchildren. And we'll do that in the evening, like around 6:30. And if we get enough kids coming, maybe we'll do a little scavenger hunt up there. So then we're still looking into a Thimble Island, which is Connecticut, down by Branford, Connecticut, a tour out there of the islands. An interesting layout down there. We haven't got a set date for that yet. And then we're working on ideas for the fall. No big parties during the summer because it's slow.
All right, thank you. All right, so now we come to the point where anybody would like to bring up any other business they'd like to talk about at this meeting? We have one. Go ahead.
So I've talked to the town administrator. The cooking, as we know, has become very taxing on the staff because the bigger we get and the bigger the crowd we have. So Jen and I are gonna hang up our aprons at some point, and we will be hiring a part-time cook. I have talked to Mr. Wojcik about it, he agrees it's time. And I had a directors meeting last week, and I spoke to all the directors in the area I hosted, and they all have somebody coming in now at this point. They don't do the cooking. They'll fill in if somebody's out or whatever. And they do the menu with the cook and such. But the person will be in charge of food shopping, and we will set up an account at Hannaford, and we'll have an account at the Restaurant Depot. And so we're not going to 8 places. Last week I went to 5 places. It was a nightmare.
I think we
So,
talked about that
yeah.
last meeting.
Yeah, every week it's a new nightmare. So to have one place, if it is a little bit more expensive, it's gonna offset. Waiting for the finance director to get back to me to figure out how we're going to set up an account for this, revolving wise because of cash. And I'm working on the job description. So July 2nd, when I go to the selectmen's meeting, I'm going to present it to the selectmen also. Which I don't really think there's gonna be a problem with, because they've been in here and they've seen us running, trying to serve lunch, so. It's definitely tough. So we'll be looking for a part-time cook, and I would say it's probably, full on Tuesday, because, I mean, we're also spending a couple hours doing dishes in there after we finish doing lunch, so.
What are you
and
looking
then our
at,
event.
10, 15 hours a week?
Probably more like 8 to 12.
8 to 12.
Yeah, because, on Thursdays, we do bigger events and we offer a lunch with them, so, yeah, I would say something in that park. So I can use grant funding for it, and we were able to carry the grant now, so I always have a little bit left over, knock on wood, I will this year, from the previous year.
So you can carry it into the next
I
fiscal year?
can carry into the next fiscal
Oh,
year.
that's really nice.
So even though we're already through town meeting and our budget and all of
Yep.
that, we'll see how it works and how I can get somebody, and then if I have to go to the fall town meeting and ask for a little bit more, I can, but I'll at least have the grant money to offset it. So,
Now, we do also, maybe where it might be hard to get somebody 10 hours a week, look at maybe a catering company that may just,
so the problem with some of the senior centers have been using restaurants,
yeah.
but you're charging $8 to $9 a meal, and that's on the cheaper side.
Oh, wow, okay.
So that's
the
if you
markup
can
is
get,
high, yeah.
if you can get a restaurant to make you a meal for that.
All right.
And the Sunshine Club does offset something of the $4 that we have here, but I mean, that's 2 days a week, they'd be broke.
Yeah, that's a lot, okay.
And that would be on, like I said, the cheaper side, that's like a soup and a sandwich or a pasta,
Yeah.
So, very expensive, we're limited to how many restaurants we have in town,
Mm-hmm.
right, so. But in-house is what they all seem to be doing, and it's working very well for them, so it's just finding the right person who's maybe retired and enjoys cooking, that wants to come in, who is, will take the serve safe and all of that, and
But Patrice, do any of the other directors have like part-time help also? So maybe they can share the same person, but have designated days of where they go?
So I did discuss that with the finance director. Most of the places are doing their 5-day week. So Oxbridge is 5 days a week.
5 days a
Northbridge-
week?
Yeah.
Wow.
Northbridge, and we all have lunch at the same time, right? And with time temp and all of that stuff, you can't really do stuff the day before and then heat it up and all of that. We can for our bigger events, obviously, like St. Patrick's Day or the holiday meals, but not with like a soup and a sandwich. You can't like throw grilled cheese in the fridge and expect it to revive the next day.
Yeah.
So, it was a thought, but they're running their programs the same days, so.
Okay. Okay, well, we have to pick our next meeting now. We're gonna meet in September this time. Take the summer off, so let's see what we got for dates. What do we got?
Well, the second is Labor Day, right? So why don't can we shoot for the 11th? It's a Wednesday.
Everybody okay with September 11th at 9 a.m.? All right, so I guess I need a motion to adjourn. Second, anybody?
Second.
Wonderful. All right, thank you, everybody.